Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy DJ City Manos. Happy New Year's. And this review my battery that I just got. I love this little bad boy. I tested for a few things and my calculations was correct. So in order for you guys to get if you guys want to get these batteries, if you guys want to get an accurate calculations, I recommend you guys get that little kilowatt meter. So you can have an idea of what kind of wattage you're pulling, and then you can calculate how much battery you need. I got this for $200. It's 300 watt hours. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it does have what I need it for. Like I said, it has a C type or type C USB. It has some other kind of USB ports. It has two outlets, pure sine wave. It's 200 watt max. That's how much load it could take. This have a small little, like a small little chip in there. I'm not sure if it's a chip, but it's supposed to detect the temperature of this. It's supposed to detect how much stuff you're pulling in. So if you put that's overloading it, it just automatic shut off without, it's pretty smart. So I was so happy with this that I decided to get another battery. And before I talk about the other battery, let's talk about a couple tests that I ran. So you notice I ran one moving head with a Donner / Chinley, and my kilowatt meter was showing 40 watts. I calculated it was gonna last 7.5 hours. It actually ran for 7 hours. And the reason why, because I didn't calculate the fact that this right here also used power. It also has a inverter that has to convert and do all kind of stuff, and the fan kicks in and cool it down, so it does use power. So I didn't calculate that part in. I did run one speaker, but I stopped that speaker test. My kilowatt meter showed that it was running 30 watts, and my calculation showed 10 hours, but I killed it because this was less than this one. So I said, I'm not gonna do the full test. I already know this one did 7.5 hours or 7 hours. So my goal was to get 10 hours, off this little battery. So this is my two reasons why I got the battery, for the speakers and the moving heads. But I said, let me test the projector. So I grabbed the projector out. The projector is doing 112 watts. But what happened if I watch a movie? Is that going to change, So I'm not sure if that's always going to be the same. But if I do want to do, say, 6 hours, what you do to calculate 6 hours, you get the projector, you get your wattage by using a kilowatt meter, and then you multiply that by the hours you want to use it for. So if I multiply that by 6, you get your number, and that's how much you have an idea how much battery you need to buy. So if it shows 700, you need to get yourself a 700 watt hour battery. So this little bad boy did 2 hours. So that's like a movie right there. That's one movie. But if I would have had something stronger, I could plug up to my projector and a small little speaker and watch movie night. So that's not bad. I did power off my workstation. This workstation that I work at, and has the adjustable desk. Has a monitor, one extra monitor, and I was pulling, when I first started, it was pulling 50 watts, and later on it dropped down to like 30 watts. So my calculation was off. I calculated 6 hours, but then later on it went up to 8 hours. And I forgot to record the ending, but it went to 8 hours, so I was happy with that. So this little bad boy, I was satisfied with it. So I ordered me a second one. But as soon as I was about to order it, guess what? I seen another one that just popped up. It has more wattage for, you ready for this? So this one, I got this one for $200. The price went up. Last night it was still at 205 or something. This right now, I just looked at it, it went up. I'm like, what the? They did that overnight. So now they're selling this battery right here for $250. The one I want to buy, this one right here, is almost the same, but it doesn't have the C connection. No C connection. But it has 3 USB ports. Let's focus this camera. I'm not sure what the Q. Well, I guess that's a QC30. I'm not sure. Maybe that's a stronger USB. But it has 2 USBs. And then it has 2 outlets, and the outlets are 500 pure sine wave, 500 watts. This bad boy right here is 568 watt hours for the same price, $249. You cannot beat that. You cannot beat that. That's almost like buying a battery for the half the price. I looked at it when this came out. I said, "Oh, I straight up and bought it right away." So I'm hoping it be the same as this, the same performance. I'm looking at it. It looks like the same layout as this one. Got your little handles. Has a flashlight. Has everything the same. The only difference doesn't have the C. This one does. And this one I was looking at the charge. You could charge this one up for 7 hours. I was looking at it. Where is it at? Let me see if I can find it. I'm looking for it. Right here. It says you could 7-hour full power from an AC outlet. So it takes 7 hours. This one takes 8 hours. 8 hours. So that's the only bad thing about it, that it takes forever to charge. But now, let's say I was going camping and I took this camping with me. I show up Friday night. We used the heck out of this little battery the first day. Now it's all drained. Sunday morning, I have to grab the solar panels and charge them and put it in the sun for 7 hours so it could fully charge. So that's the only bad thing about it, is that if you use them, you got to be a little smart about how you use it. But hey, if I want to go camping, I got 2 of them. I got one and this one. So, I kind of like it. Let me tell you why I bought this little red one right here. The reason why I bought it, because a few things. I didn't know much about this battery, so I started looking into it, and I found out that this LiPo 4 cells is a little bit better than the lithium ones. And they said this one you could get the battery cycle life up to 2,000 times. You could use them for 2,000 times before it start losing its charge. This one over here is like 300, 500 times, and it start losing its charge. So yeah, when you first get them, use them up 2,000 times, and then start dropping the charge. And then pretty soon it'll just be a brick. It won't be able to hold a charge. But the other ones are still good, It'll be what it says right here. Estimate usage life 2 to 3 years, and then it start dropping its charge. This one says up to 10 plus years. So am I gonna have this 10 years? I don't know. We'll see. There'll probably be better batteries, and I just sell it to somebody. This one here says it's safe and not toxic. The other ones, the lithiums, they're not sure. Who knows if that's true? And then over here on the back of it, I live in Arizona. So right here it says temperature. This sucker could take a pretty good temperature. For operating, from 14 all the way to 104. That's not bad. And then also with recharging, so it could take a little good temperature. So you don't have to worry about, let's see right here, it tells you a warning. So you don't have to worry about getting it overheating. It tells you a warning. Do not exceed 200 watts. This little bad boy has a little smart chip inside. So it knows when you put an overload up in this little thing, and it'll shut off. It tells you when it's overheating, it'll shut off. Smart little bad boy. I like that this also, when you turn it on, it stays on. Other ones, when you turn it on and you're not using it to save the power, it shuts off. I mean, that's good also, but people complain about those because they buy these batteries to power their refrigerators, little small coolers or whatever. And how a refrigerator, as soon as it reaches a temperature, it kind of stop running for a while. Then later on, the refrigerator kicks in and start working again. So with the refrigerator, when they stop running, the battery will detect that it's not running no more and it'll shut off. And guess what happens? The refrigerator never comes back on because the battery shut off. This one I hear, once you hit that power on, it stays on for life. You know what I mean? So if I keep this button on and I just leave it like that for a week, I'm sure I'm going to be drained. It's going to use the battery. It's going to use the battery, some of the battery power to keep it running. I kind of like that in a way that you could control the off and on. The other one, like I said, I'm not sure if you could disable that part, but that people complaints is that they use them for the refrigerator, and their biggest complaint that it shuts off, and they don't like that. This one I hear stays on. The little screen will stay on. It won't dim. The other ones, they dim, and you got it doesn't have that tap to wake up the screen. They have to push a button to try to wake it up again because it goes like in a sleep mode. It just shuts off, and people don't like that. I don't really. This one I hear is perfect because it stays on, doesn't go off. When this new one comes, I gotta see, and I haven't even shipped it yet. I'm excited. I can't wait for this new one to show up. What can you use these batteries for a DJ? I was thinking about all the times that you could probably use this for DJing purposes. One, for totems, but I'm gonna use them. I don't have a totem, but I'm gonna use them for my the speaker stands that I don't use. Hide it behind the skirt, and I could put the speaker stands anywhere. The 2 speaker stands with 2 moving heads and the Best Part 60s. So I could use that for that. I could place them anywhere. But if you have totems, and let's say you set up in a corner, you don't have enough room for those totems, you could actually put those totems on the dance floor. And instead of running cables to the dance floor, you could have 2 of these to power your moving heads. You just need to know how much wattage your moving heads is pulling. So that's why you have the kilowatt meter, so you could test it and get yourself a battery that's perfect for that moving head. And you could put this behind the totem, and you could get like a little box, so you could put it over this so you won't see this right here, cover the battery. Or you could probably even put it inside the totem. Look how small it is. Probably fit inside the totem. But let's say it doesn't. You could still get a little box, put it behind the totem, and here goes a plastic little box. And as long as it has a little hose on the side, you could run your cables through there. You'll get a box that's even deeper, so you could have it higher, cover it up, and it might work. I wouldn't recommend getting something thick, like a thicker box, because it still has to breathe and circulate the air and all that. So something like that might work. What else can you use this for? Let's say you have yourself a a photo booth. You're running a printer. How about you don't want to run an extension cord? You could just have this, plug up your printer to it. You can also, let's say you're outdoors with your photo booth. You could use it to run your photo booth. Let's say you have those a totem with the TV screen. Your TV screen is pulling 100 watts. You need to have something at least 600 watts, a battery. Like this other one is 580. That you could use it for 5 hours, 6 hours, and you could put those totems with the TV screen anywhere in the room. Put your battery next to it. You don't have to worry about it. Actually, if you watched, I think his name is DJ Bright Eyes. Have you seen his? He did that, and it looked pretty nice. It looks nice. You could put them on the entrance of the ceremony, the reception hall. You know how you have the hallways. You can put them out there. You don't have to worry about running an extension cord and taping it up. You could just put this behind it, cover it up so you won't see it, plug up your stuff to it, and you're good to go. Did it shut off? Oh, maybe it does have a shut off. Let's see it again. If it does have a shut off, it's not bad because it did shut off. But after it was a long time, probably like 5 minutes. Let's keep an eye on it. So, plus I was doing this a lot. Let's keep an eye on it. What else can you use it for? Let me see. You got your moving heads. You got your totems. You have your TV projector. Let's say you have a slideshow. But you want to put it in the middle of the dance floor so people can see the slideshow. Instead of having a projector running it with all these cables and running all this stuff, you could just have this in one hand, your projector on the other hand with the whatever. Put it out for a second. Display your slideshow. When the slideshow is done, put it away. But you don't have to worry about those big old extension cords going out to the middle of the dance floor. You know what I mean? For me, what I want to use it for, I want to get off the grid. I want to show up at a house, because I do a lot of house parties. I do also some in ranch home styles, like in the middle of nowhere in the ranch. But I also want to start doing some crazy stuff like camps, the sand dunes, what else? Crazy things. They even, let's say there's a tailgate. Somebody say, hey, we having a tailgate. The Arizona Cardinals is playing in the Super Bowl. Man, we need a DJ. We're partying at the parking lot. Man, I'll show up. Where your parking spot at? I'll show up right now. I'll show up, set up my equipment. Have a huge, stuff like that. You don't have to worry about generators. Just power this bad boy. I have to have something stronger, so I got to calculate how much all my equipment is pulling. You know what I mean? And I got my eyes on another little battery. It's 1,500 watts. That's like they're selling for like 1,300. And I'm sure the price is going to start dropping as soon as other ones come out. So I'm not going to rush that one. I might get it like in April. I'm not going to rush it yet. But for now, I got two little ones that kind of going to do its job. One of them is 568. And this one's 300. So if I combine them together, I probably could power this whole thing. Like this little bad boy could power both speakers. And the other battery will power my system. And then the lights, everything is battery except the moving heads. So, pretty fun, interesting. Give you some ideas of what you could use these little batteries for the DJ business. So if you're interested just to have at least one in case you want to do something with it and you don't want to spend all that money, you better jump on this right here. This little price is not bad right there for 568 watt hours, 250, man. And guess what? I'm going to be the guinea pig. So far, there's only 2 reviews. This just came out. I'm telling you, I just looked at it and it just popped up out of nowhere. And I said, oh, and I bought it. I bought it right away. This is when I purchased it. I purchased it on the 30th. And it doesn't show when it's going to show up yet. I'm waiting for it. So as soon as it gets here, I'm hoping it gets here by next week. So we'll see tomorrow. I'm going to look at it and see where's my battery at, because this is New Year's, what is this? Saturday, Sunday, they should be closed. So Monday I'll check and see if they shipped it. So I'm hoping I get it by the 8th. All right, this is your boy Digits, and look, it's telling me it's going to show up on the 14th. I hope that's not true. I hope that's not true. I hope it gets here next week. This is your boy DJ Manos, and I am out. And hopefully this helps you out if you want to get something like this. Like I said, first I recommend getting one of these bad boys. The kilowatt meter is only like $30 in Amazon. Grab one of those and you have an idea of what you're pulling, what kind of wattage. And if you want to know the calculations for that stuff, it's not that hard. I can write it down for you. But basically what you do, you get this. So this is 300 watts. You could do it 2 ways. You get 300 divided by what your meter is telling you, and then it tells you how much hours you're going to run it for. So I got 300 watts divided by 112, and I got 2 hours and 2.6 hours. I got 300 divided by 30 watts. That's what gave me 10 hours. So that's how you do it. But if you want to reverse it, and let's say you want to do it for 6 hours, you get 112 watts times 6, and you get that, and you have an idea of what kind of battery you need to power 6 hours. So if I want to power for 10 hours, that means I need like a 1,000 watt battery. Well, I mean 1,000 watt hours. Oh, it does shut off. I was lying, but it does shut off. But it's not like, oh yeah, it does shut off when it's not in use. That's no bueno. But I still like it though. I'm not going to plug it up to a refrigerator, so I'm not worrying about that. Yeah, so if you guys want to calculate stuff like that, reverse it. If you got one of those fancy moving heads, hook up a watt meter to it. Once you get your watt meter, decide how much you want to run it for. Multiply that with that number, and then you can decide how much watts you want to. But if you want to wait for the battery moving heads, you're gonna end up spending like $2,000, close to $2,000. So I'd rather just spend $240. You know, get a little small box to cover it, so you won't see it. But me, I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it there. People are not gonna stare at it. I'm just gonna just leave it in the open. Just put it behind it. It looks kind of cool though. People look at it and say, "What is that little device back there? Is that a radio, FM radio, where you turn the?" Yeah, it's pretty cool. So these are Boy DJ Serimanos, and I've been babbling for 21 minutes. I'm happy with it. Now what I'm gonna do is get my speaker, slap this battery, put it in my car. We're gonna go bumping in the hood. I'm out. Peace.